Hello, my friends. Happy Friday Eve. It's Thursday, but not just any Thursday. It's Random Thought Thursday. How much dirt is in a hole that measures 2 inches by 3 inches by 4 inches? You'll think about it and I'll tell you at the end of the show. Alright, let's get to your news now, shall we? I'm Coy Water. This is CNN10. And we start today with these tales of two housing markets here in the United States. So what's all the hullabaloo? We're in the spring season now, and that usually means a frenetic time for home buying. Now, during the pandemic, Silicon Valley, the West Coast cities and places like Austin saw a boom in the housing market. But now we are seeing that bubble burst, with continuous tech layoffs, bank failures, and low housing supply. We are seeing the home buy cooling rapidly. So sellers in many of those areas, well, they don't have the upper hand anymore. But on the other side of the country, on the East Coast, we're seeing a totally different stories. Home prices are actually continuing to rise there, especially in major southeastern cities. A big impact to all of this housing volatility is higher average rates on a 3-year fixed mortgage, which is making it a lot more expensive to finance a home today compared to a year ago. The continued high inflation rate has been a contributing factor as well. Our chief business correspondent, Christine Romans, explained these divergent trends we're seeing in the U.S. housing market. The biggest investments most people ever make is their home. And after 9 interest rates hikes from a FAD, is the tale of two housing markets today in America, where the bubble appears to have popped in the West Coast tech hubs and the pandemic boom towns, but holding up rather well out east. All real estate is local, of course, but trends are revealing Redfin measures painting home sales. Price drop and supply and found Austin, Texas is the fastest cooling metro area in the country. It was once a pandemic relocation magnet, of course. Seattle is next. In Phoenix, Tacoma, Denver, Vegas, and 4 California cities round out the top 10. But head east and upper Midwest and Northeast towns are cooling much more slowly, and home price is still rising. Case Shiller shows home price in the cities up year over year. They are not skyrocketing like in the last 10 years, but they are holding it. Travel to Southeast and it is a boom time in real estate. Miami home prices in January up nearly 14% from a year ago. Tampa up 10.5%. Atlanta 8.4% and Charlotte up 8.1%. You can clearly see sellers have the upper hand in the Sun Belt, a sharp contrast to home prices in the tech hub out west, where prices are falling sharply, like by San Francisco, where prices fell almost 8% in January compared with last year. This, of course, after years of runaway prices getting those tech hubs. Call it a real estate reckoning out west. Tech company pink slips, bank jitters, low inventory, and mortgage sales that had almost double. Higher rates made the same home a year ago a lot more expensive to finance today. A $400,000 mortgage taken out at today's mortgage rates would cost about $400 more a month in extra interest. Next up, the list of the world's busiest airports came out. And once again, the busiest airport is right here, Atlanta. According to Airports Council International, the U.S. actually has half of the world's 10 busiest airports in the world last year. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson. Atlanta International took the title for a second consecutive year as the world's busiest airport in terms of passenger volume. Coming out second was Dallas-Fort Worth, and then it was followed by Denver and Chicago O'Hare. Los Angeles came in 6th on the list. The other 5 airports in the top 10 were cities abroad: Dubai, Istanbul, Heathrow Airport in London, New Delhi, and Paris. The Airport Council International also expects strong travel recovery this year for global passengers traffic and a full recovery by next year that we haven't seen since 2019. 10-second trivia. In Greek mythology, who is Apollo's twin sister and a goddess of the moon? Artemis, Luna, Athena, or Diana? Artemis is your answer here. And she also served as a goddess of the hunt and wild animals. Artemis is also connected to a space exploration. And that's where our next story takes us. It has been 50 years since astronauts returned to the moon, but NASA just announced its team for its next moon mission. It's 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, who made their journey to outer space on Artemis 2 in November of 2024. This will also be a historic mission, as it will be the first time a woman and a person of color will be on a lunar flight. Our Ed Lavandera sat down with the newly named crew. Ladies and gentlemen, your Artemis 2 crew. NASA calls this moment the launch of Artemis generation, and the space agency has unveiled its first comic rock stars: Commander Ray Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christiana Koch, and Canadian Jeremy Hansen. CNN sat down with a crew of Artemis 2 mission. Armstrong, Aldrin, Collins, Borman, Lovell, Anders. Those are all iconic astronauts that touched the moon or graced the edges of the moon. The names go next to those guys. How did you find out about this, and how does it feel, quite frankly? The leader of our flight operations director has said to us, and he said, "How would you like to go flying on Artemis 2? My answer to him was, "Sir, it would be an honor. It's amazing to be a part of this team that's going back to the moon and onto Mars, and exciting times that we are actually making this step. If all goes as planned, the Artemis 2 crew will orbit the moon next year for about 10 days to aim to travel farther into space than any human have ever gone. They'll fly in the Orion spacecraft, paving the way for future Artemis mission to land on the moon again, and ultimately journey to Mars." I think for most people who watch space programs, that since the end of a space shuttle program, that space travel has become the game of billionaires, and with the wealthy who travel to the edges of space. Why is this so important? One aspect of human space exploration is that it unites and it lifts. I like to keep using that word, Jeremy. Lifts. It lifts the people up, and it pushes you to do things that seems impossible. When you go out and do something that pushes the boundaries, you always learn things that you didn't expect to learn. And we'll have breakthroughs left and right. It's going to be phenomenal. It's been more than half century since astronauts returned to the moon. Apollo 8 astronauts were the first to see the surface up close. Their missions and films captivated the world. The voices of astronauts being back to Earth feel like science fiction. Good luck. Merry Christmas and God bless all of you. Christina Koch kept this iconic image of Earthrise taken by that first crew in 1968 on her bedroom wall as a little girl. The Artemis 2 crew is making history by putting the first person of color and a woman on a lunar mission. It's an honor to be part of this program at a time when we are, as an organization, as a country, have recognized and decided that it's important to go for all and by all. When you see the Earth rise for the first time, have you thought about what that moment is going to be like? I think it's going to be pretty emotional. I'm going to be seeing that image with 3 friends. We're going to be in a tiny capsule. I think there's going to be some hugging. You think in our lifetime we will see somebody landing on Mars? I do. I certainly hope so. I think we'll get there in our lifetime. To think that humans will be working on Mars in 20 years is completely reasonable. For our next story, we are headed to Jamaica, to give a 10 out of 10 to an Olympic champion sprinter that isn't taking a single day off, not even at our son's birthday at school. 36-year-old Shelby Ann Fraser Price, leaving all the other parents in the dust, reminding everyone that she's the third fastest woman of all time. Now Fraser Price Speeds has carried her to 8 Olympic medals, 3 of them gold, as well as 10 world titles. And I actually got to interview her after she won gold at the Tokyo Summer Olympics. She told me that she used to run every day to school every day as a kid barefoot because she couldn't afford shoes. She told me that she runs today to inspire our youngsters out there, letting them know that even if you don't come from privilege, you can reach your greatest someday too. Alright, now random thought Thursday question was how much dirt is in the hole that measures 2 inches by 3 inches by 4 inches? Well, the answer is none, lovely people. It's a hole. Great job with all the Your Word Wednesday submissions. Thanks to Madison Westerhoff from Kushner, Oklahoma. Today's vocabulary word was hullabaloo, noun meaning a commotion or a fuss. Now, before I go, we want to give a special shout out to Winfield, Kansas. Winfield Middle School. We'll see you lovely people. We're going to be off the air next week for spring break. But I will see you right back here tomorrow. Sending you all some good vibes today. I'm Corwar and we are CNN10.